Saturday, November 2, 2019. Special guest Meow Meow is here. I don't know what she is. So wave to the people. Meow Meow. The Gambling God is going to give you a special early video today. We'll do a quick review of yesterday, and then we'll get into the early games today quickly. And we'll do this review later as well. The Knicks game was fixed. As predicted, the Knicks covered the 10, almost won, didn't win, but they did just enough to scare the hell out of everyone who bet Boston. Boston won that game by 2 points. Like I told you, you got these big spreads. You got to take these underdogs that are getting the points. That's how they fix these games. Knicks covered that spread last night, 94-92. I hope you had the Knicks plus the 10. Cleveland went into Indiana, lost the game. Indiana took them out, beat them. That was a pretty easy win for Indiana. Not much to say there. That was all chalk. Houston at Brooklyn, as predicted. The Nets won the game. Houston is going to have a hard time covering spreads this year because they don't play defense. And Brooklyn at home, it was really never in doubt. They kind of led the entire game. I had no problem with that one. I hope you had Brooklyn on that one. Milwaukee, they won. Bounced back from that loss to Boston. Like I explained, they hit with a parlay with San Antonio. So the Milwaukee-San Antonio parlay hit. I hope you guys had that. I had it. Milwaukee on the road there coming off the loss to Boston. I didn't see any way they were going to lose that game to Orlando. Detroit at Chicago. I don't remember who won this one. I wasn't really paying that much attention because I didn't bet it. I liked Chicago. I saw it was tied late. It was like 96-96. I have to check the result on that one. Like I said, I didn't bet it, so I wasn't really paying attention to it. But I did like Chicago. But again, that could have gone either way. Those teams play a lot, and I didn't love that game. Lakers at Dallas. I had Dallas. This was fixed, as they all are, with Danny Green hitting a three-pointer at the buzzer to send it to overtime, tied at 103. Obviously, if he doesn't hit that, Dallas wins. Of course, he did because there are magnets in the basketballs, and it is all fixed. LeBron James with a huge triple-double last night with 36 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, or something like that. It was some kind of ridiculous number. King James looking a little older with the gray beard, but still playing effective basketball, going coast to coast on a number of thunderous dunks to cap off the win. I had Dallas 1.5 point spread. Like I said, every game goes to overtime, and every game I bet at least seems to go to overtime. Sacramento beat Utah. We liked them to cover coming off that loss at home to Charlotte. It's a trap game for Utah. I hope you had Sacramento. I had them. I like these teams at home getting a few points. I traditionally will take a team at home that is getting points. I like Sacramento. They did get the win there. And then San Antonio took out a depleted Golden State team. The game was tight for a while. San Antonio ran away with it at the end of the third quarter. They were up by 21 the last time I checked. The Milwaukee-San Antonio parlay hit. I hope you guys had that as well. NHL last night, we did well. The Devils went down to Philly in overtime, 4-3. Corey Hart shut down the Devils in the shootout. I hope you had Philly. They're hot. They have that good goaltender in Hart, and I like them. Their offense is very strong. Their goaltending is strong. They look like a playoff team to me. They looked like a playoff team last year. They went on a huge run, and I rode them for the 10 games that they won in a row, and I'm going to ride Philly again this year with that young goaltender. Reminds me of Binnington last year with St. Louis. Buffalo at Washington. Washington was up 4-0 in the first period and coasted. I think they won like 6-1. I had them in a parlay with San Jose, whose goalie is blind and screwed up my parlay. But Washington did get the win there. I hope that you had the Capitals. I don't think that Buffalo... I didn't think Buffalo was too much of a match for them, and I was right. Tampa at the Islanders. We had the Islanders to win this one. It was never really in question. The Islanders started off 1-0. Tampa Bay tied it 1-1. From there, the Islanders took them out. I think it ended 4-5-1 or something like that. The Islanders did win the game. We had the Islanders at home. Hope you had them. Detroit at Carolina. This was one of those games where Detroit they didn't really have much of a chance. Carolina's the better team. I think they won 7-3. No value there in Carolina, but we did have Carolina to win that one. Columbus at St. Louis. We took Columbus. It was 3-3, and it went into overtime. St. Louis beat them. This fucking St. Louis team continues to screw me right and left. We had them, but of course it went to overtime. Like every game that I bet goes to overtime. This was fixed. St. Louis won in overtime. We didn't hit that one. Close, but no cigar. Dallas at Colorado. We had Dallas. They won 2-1. This game did not go to overtime. It almost did, of course. They always will tease you and torture you. We did have Dallas to beat Colorado in Colorado, and I hope that you guys joined me on that one. Vancouver in Anaheim. Of course, this game went to overtime as well, and Vancouver lost in overtime because every game goes to overtime. If I sound like a broken record, it's because it's all fixed, and they send these games to overtime to freak out the public. So, yeah, Vancouver lost in overtime. And last but not least, Winnipeg and San Jose. Winnipeg was up 1-0. San Jose tied it, went ahead 2-1. Winnipeg came back, tied it 2-2, and because San Jose's goalie is legally blind, they lost 3-2. I think my best advice to you this year is do not bet on San Jose until they get rid of this goalie. He stinks. Okay, he shouldn't be allowed in public because he gives up goals that I think children would be able to save. So let's just make it a rule. We're just not betting San Jose this year. We're just done with that. All right. Bye-bye, San Jose Sharks. We had a nice night last night. We basically increased our bankroll, what we had in the account, by 50%, which is a fantastic way to move forward. Now, with today, Saturday, November 2nd, of course, you degenerates are looking for your college football. Absolutely. So we have a schedule here, a lot of big spreads. I'm going to focus on the games that I'm going to play. These other games, these huge spreads. If you want to lose money and bet on teams to win by 24 points, or even like in the Clemson game to win by 49 points, you go ahead and do that. You can go sit there and watch a game and hope that your team wins by 50. You're an idiot. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the games that I'm going to play that I think that there's value. I'll go over the games for you, but I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't take any of these games with the big spreads. Michigan at Maryland, 21-point spread. I mean, if you want, I would take Maryland. They're a home team. They started off hot. I would never bet a team to win by 21 points. It's completely insane. Wake Forest, home for NC State. I don't really know too much about these teams. I don't like the game, Wake Forest. These lower echelon, top 25 teams, I don't really get involved with them. Wake Forest, NC State. This is one of those games, anything can happen. It doesn't turn me on. So I stay away from it. Notre Dame, fuck them. They're a 17.5-point favorite over Virginia Tech. I'm done with Notre Dame too. Completely finished with them. When I bet this team, they go in the toilet. They can go have themselves, and in their little, Notre Dame world with Brian Kelly and all the Irish people and the little leprechauns. Fuck them. I'm not betting Notre Dame game for the rest of the year. It's a lie. I will because I have problems, but this one I'm not betting. All right. Georgia at Florida. I like Florida. They've been good all year. They're down to their third-string quarterback. This is another team, when I bet against Florida, they win. I'm going to take them today. It's a neutral site game. Georgia did lose that game to South Carolina. They did look vulnerable. Florida has looked strong. This will be more of a home game for Florida than anything else. What I've done is I've been parlaying early soccer games, degenerate, with Florida. It's a 3:30 game. I recommend, if you want to get real frisky, 1:30 p.m., English Premier Soccer. Take Chelsea in a parlay with Florida. That's what you should do. Throw $50 on Chelsea to win with Florida to win. It'll probably pay out nice. This game will be up and back. I don't see Georgia dominating from wire to wire. As I've said, how often do you bet a game and your team is ahead the entire time? It doesn't happen. Why? It's fixed. We'll get back to it. It always goes to overtime. Anyone that is betting, if you go on the prop bets, there's a prop bet, will the game go to overtime? I strongly recommend you bet it. Why? Because every game goes to overtime. I can't say it enough. 7 games that I bet last night went into overtime. Kansas State at Kansas. This could be a typical letdown game. They're given 5. I would take Kansas at home to cover the 5. Kansas State could definitely be let down after upsetting Oklahoma last week. Clemson is a 49-point favorite. They probably will cover it. I wouldn't bet it. They're playing Wolford, woof. But I wouldn't touch this game. I would never bet a team to win by 49 points. It's totally insane. I do like Utah to beat Washington on the road. Washington is +3. Utah should win this game. They're hot. As good as Washington has played, I like Utah to win outright. Cincinnati at ECU. Again, another big spread. I can't take a team to win by 24. Don't like the game. Mississippi at Auburn, -18.5. Auburn last week didn't get it done with the win. They did cover. They probably will cover the 18.5 here coming off that loss. But again, I wouldn't bet a team to win by that many points. Memphis -6 over SMU. And not a game I love. I'm indifferent on that game, so you're on your own on that one. There's plenty of games. Believe me, if you need to bet that game, you should go get some kind of help and take me with you. Tell me where you're going. Oregon is at USC. I like USC here. Oregon's been good. They've screwed me a couple of times. They are bound to stub their toe. Auburn did beat them in the opener. I like USC to cover. You could take them to win if you feel like getting frisky. The over in this game probably would be a good play as well. But I'm going to take USC here. A lot of people are telling me Oregon, but everybody bets Oregon. Go Ducks, quack. And then you have Boise State is at San Jose State. Boise State's given 17.5. They'll probably cover it, but again, I don't like these big spreads. You're on your own on that one. If you need to bet that game, I would take the over. I think the over probably will hit in that game. Early NHL today, Rangers at Nashville. You like Nashville, they're home. Rangers are, still finding their way. They're a decent team. They beat Tampa Bay this week. For my money, I would take Nashville to win early. And then you have Edmonton at Pittsburgh. Most people are going to take Pittsburgh. I don't like Pittsburgh's goalie. They are better at home. Edmonton did beat Columbus this week, 4-1 in Columbus. Take note of that they had the young star in Connor McDavid. And I think that Edmonton could give Pittsburgh problems. Pittsburgh is an overrated team. It's one of those teams that everybody bets. People like Penguins for some reason. And, so I'm going to take Edmonton here to win in a little bit of an upset. So Nashville, Edmonton in NHL. Early soccer, most of it's going on right now. Last I checked, Liverpool was down 1-0. I took them on live betting to come back and win. It was like minus 105. It's a decent play. Manchester City is down 1-0. They were like minus 300 to come back and win. Another decent value play. Barcelona's up 1-0. I have them as well. I have all those teams parlayed with Florida. Just for your point of fact. But the games that haven't started yet, Juventus is a favorite. They're playing Torino in Serie A, as we say in Italy. They start at 3:45 if you want to get on them. I would take them either straight or you can parlay them with Oregon or USC. We will get into some later hockey and basketball later when Ncaa leaves. She has to go to a boxing match and drink Hennessy with her friend with 5 children. And next we have Watford. Please don't talk to the people. Watford is and playing Chelsea at 1:30. As I told you, take Chelsea to win. Parlay Chelsea with Florida in that one. Tonight, I think Nate Diaz fights. She's going to attend some boxing match with men that will be drunk and will be trying to have sex with her. So now...
No. Now I'm talking. No men.
Anyway... We will have to take a other picture. Anyway, the Gambling God is signing off. We are going to sell our car and all of our worldly possessions. Please, Saturday, November 2nd, 2019. That's the early games. We'll be back for you later on. Gambling God signing off. All right. Done. I thought I was done.